Kokkonen. The running backs, flanker, senior number 35, Dan Schmidt. At tailback, senior number 44, Mark Gillis. The fullback, junior number 33, Craig Rowe. The Lakes are coached by Mr. Ron Warner and assistant, Mr. Russ Lauren. The offensive starting lineup for the Hancock Bulldogs, starting at tight end, sophomore, number 41, Chris Solani. At left tackle, junior, number 74, Dean Hota. At left guard, senior, number 62, Jerry Nair. At center, senior, number 78, Robbie Wijala. At right guard, senior, number 53, Jim Gollett. At right tackle, senior, number 76, Craig Gibbons. At tight end, junior, number 88, Eric Clark. At the flanker, number 14, Shane Burkhart. In the backfield for the Bulldogs, starting at quarterback, senior number 10, John Sabis. At tailback, number 11, Jason Ritchie. At fullback, senior number 33, Jesse Chenoweth. The Bulldogs are coached by Mr. Richard Solani and his assistant, Mr. Richard Miller.
And those are the lineups for this afternoon's game. We'll be back for the start of this game in just a moment. The first, it's Northern Hubble Lakes. And it's a low kick. It bounces at the Hancock 35-yard line, picked up by Shane Burkhart, gets to the 39, where he stopped. I know you weren't with us last week, Bill, but that was the strategy on the kickoffs for Gillis last week, is that those short squibbling kicks, not really onside kicks, but
up on defense. We're going to see the Hancock offense starting off this football game right now. John Sabis at quarterback.
Sabis at quarterback, as you mentioned. Man in motion to the right. Sabis is going back to pass, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for number 14, Shane Burkhart. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10, kind of a... And they're throwing against the wind also. Sabis calling the signals. We're just underway at Condon Field. Big game for both teams. And the handoff goes to Ritchie. Ritchie straps us for about 5 yards before he's brought down. It'll bring up a 3rd down here and 5. Incompleted pass. 3rd and 5. Sabis calling the signals. What a beautiful afternoon for football. You still have lots of time to get out here and see it. Come out and support high school football. Keeper Sabis fights his way for first down territory, and the Bulldogs pick up the first down on a big 3rd down play. 3rd and 5. I guess he had a gain of about 6 or 7 on the play. He can beat you in the air, and he's has the experience. Seems like he's been a quarterback here forever, doesn't it? They send a man in motion toward the line, a big the split end situation. There's a handoff to Ritchie. Ritchie fights his way across midfield to the 49, brought down just about at the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, I'll tell you, that time Jeff Klein moving in to make the stop. It seemed like a long run by Ritchie, but he just barely got back to the line of scrimmage. As a matter of fact, they're going to mark it right at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring down a 2nd and 10 with
at least. If they're going to turn over the ball, turn it over deep in the Lake Linden zone. Sabis is the quarterback for the Hancock Bulldogs. We have Chenoweth and Ritchie set in the backfield. Sabis goes back in the pocket. He's being rushed. He's got to run in the pocket, but he can't do it. He's tackled for a big loss by number 78 of the Lake Linden Hubble Lakes.
Rich Fezzi in the backfield, and nothing could stop him. Sabis moving back, way back in the pocket. It's going to be marked as a loss of 16 yards on the play, and Fezzi in there tore him down. That's going to bring up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 26 yards for the Hancock Bulldogs.
Well, that's going to tell us.
So on the ongoing rush, had to keep moving back, and they're sacked for a big loss.
So it's a 3rd down and 25 for a 1st down. Sabis back in the pocket again. He's got some protection. He decides to run out of the pocket across the 40, the 45 to the 50, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, Sabis picking up that 16 yards that he had lost on the sack. The ball is going to be marked on the 49-yard line of the Lake Linden Hubble Lakes, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and force the Bulldogs into their first punting situation.
Still an important play, though, because he was...
right, well, Dan Schmidt and Mark Gillis back to receive Chris Solani's punt, and they're standing on about their own 20-yard line.
And Solani takes the snap from center on one bounce. Gets a pretty good kick. Schmidt picks it up, fumbles the ball. Who's got it? It's down on the 15-yard line. And the Bulldogs recover.
Trying to get a number. That's number 11, Jason Ritchie. Dan Schmidt not getting a good handle on the ball. As he went down, it popped loose. Jason Ritchie diving in there to pick up the fumble recovery, and that's going to give the Hancock.
As Schmidt had trouble handling that punch, I wonder if the wind may have had a little bit to do with it. It is a westerly wind which is at his back, but that can play tricks on the downwind when the ball is coming down. Here's Ritchie, fights his way across the 5 to about the 7 or 8-yard line.
Jason Ritchie blasting in over right tackle, and he moved the ball a little bit closer to the
gain on the first down is what is a coach's dream and a quarterback's dream to happen in a situation like this against a team like that. Sabis calling the signals. Let's see what he does here. Handoff, second man through. Ritchie goes nowhere, and he's brought down. Making the original stop on that play was number 33 for the Lakes, Craig Rowe.
Right, Mark Gillis also in there helping out, and that's going to move it back. He was stopped short of the line of scrimmage, but we're still going to call it 3 yards to go. But
the score was, what, 20-0 or something like that, and Houghton hadn't had a first down yet. And Houghton was up. Okay, time resumed. Third down play. Right side, Ritchie. He's got a first down, I do believe. He's down to about the 6-yard line. I think he had to go to about the 7 or 8. And it's a first down. That's a first and goal from the 4-yard line for Hancock. Marching, they were down about the 8-yard line. They had a yard to go, a couple of yards to go for a first down and a third down play. They threw a pass up the middle and was intercepted. I thought that was a bad call. Oh, boy, offside. The Bulldogs on the right side, jumping a little too quick, and that's what hurts. So the Bulldogs will be penalized 5 yards. That brings the ball back to about the 10. Well, that's a first down run by the Bulldogs, Jason Ritchie. But it's a first down and goal from the 9-yard line. Sabis rolls to the right. We get flags all over the field just after the snap, and it's going to be a legal procedure on somebody here, and that usually indicates the offensive team another penalty, 5 more yards. And the Bulldogs with 2
because the original line of scrimmage was at the 4-yard line.
So there you go. It's a first and goal from the 14. Sabis, keeper, finds 1 yard, 2 yards, crosses the 10 down to inside the 10-yard line before he's brought down.
Well, Sabis taken care of over on the wide side by Mark Gillis, and Dan Schmidt play for John Sabis.
Well, that gets one of the 5-yard penalties back. They still have to work on another one to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'd rather much just take it in right now. Sabis goes back in the pocket. He finds an opening. Now he throws it in the end zone. Complete. Touchdown. To Shane Burkhardt, who's standing all by himself on the back line of the end zone. And what a move by Sabis, Bill, as he went back in the pocket.
He had somebody open in the left-hand corner of the end zone, and the whole Lakeland defense shifted. And then he threw it right down, right underneath the goalpost to a wide open Shane Burkhardt, 6 points Bulldogs.
And Sabis' kick is up and good. And with 4:24 left in the first quarter, the Hancock Bulldogs lead the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes. The score is Hancock 7, the Lakes nothing.
Dan Schmidt of the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes.
When you're talking about quarterbacks in Hancock High School history of the past, in the future, you're going to have to include this guy on the list. There's a squibbling kick, intended low kick, and it's picked up by the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes' Craig Rowe. Rowe fights his way back to his own 40, and the Lakes will take over first and down from their own 40, not bad field position themselves.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can just see the Hancock
spells defense. Whether they have a good offense or a bad offense, we'll see how this defense fares up against a pretty good Lakeland and Hubble offense. And that first play from scrimmage is a gain of about 5 yards. And Rowe, no, 33, the ball carrier, Rowe, and he was grabbed by the face masker.
Well, Craig Rowe, he was Off to the rain in this first quarter. Hancock 7, Lakeland no score.
Cooking in the quarterback on a keeper. Now he flips it out to Gillis. Gillis finds some running room along the left side. Forced out of bounds as he crossed over the 35-yard line inside the 35 to about the 34 or 33. We'll see for you. For the Lakes, we have Roll and Gillis. And Eric Cookenin calling the signals. Hands off to Gillis. Second man through. Bulls his way into first down territory across the 25 down to about the 23-yard line.
Well, Gillis that time wrestled on by Jason Ritchie, and I'll tell you, Gillis, man on a mission. He went over the 23 of the Hancock Bulldogs.
5'11", 185 pounds. This Gillis is a power runner. Pass is intercepted by Hancock. John Davis intercepted the Cookenin pass. And the Bulldogs defense shores up, and Sabis, the offensive hero in the first quarter thus far, does it defensively.
With 2:18 and running here in the first quarter, it's the Hancock Bulldogs 7 and the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes no score.
First and 10 from their 18. Sabis hands off right side. The ball carrier is Chenoweth, and he's good for a couple of yards. About a 3-yard gain, closer to a 4-yard gain. We'll call it a 4-yard gain there.
Let's call it a gain of 4 for Jesse Chenoweth.
They mark the ball closer to the 21 with this second down play, and the Bulldogs with a big defensive play on Sabis' interception. He says, oh, quick pass up the middle, complete to Eric Clark. Oh, that was a clicker right up the middle, and was good for a first down.
7, Lakeland and Hubble Lakes, no score.
First down for the Hancock Bulldogs. Big first down. It shows they can run the ball against this Lakeland and defense. Keeper Sabis charges across the 40 to the 41. Before he's brought down, he's close to first down territory again. From their own 42-yard line, pick up their second first down in this drive. Sabis, handoff left side, finding a quick opening there was Jason Ritchie, and that's good for about 4 yards. What the Bulldogs have been doing is getting good yardage on that first down. I'm sorry.
I never picked up the number. I'm sorry about that.
I wasn't picking up what you were saying. Sabis back in the pocket, rolls a little bit, completes the pass to the right side to number 41 of the Hancock Bulldogs. To Solani.
Sportsmanship and personal growth. These are essential skills to succeed in life, whether in business, community, or the family. Please join Northern Hardwoods in supporting the local high school sports programs. It's good for all of us.
Okay, before we go back out to the field, let me pass along to you that in the second quarter, it's Ontonagon leading Houghton 14-0, and Winona State.
Houghton nothing in the second quarter. What was the Winona State game again?
It was Winona State 12, Michigan Tech 7.
And Winona State is ahead 12-7 at Tech. So there's offside on the play.
And that's going to cost them 5 yards and give the Bulldogs a first and 10 at the 43-yard line of the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes.
So the Bulldogs have the lead, 7-0 here as we enter the second quarter. Good handoff, number 11 for the Bulldogs is Jason Ritchie, and he found some running room close again to a first down. Yes. The ball is on the Lakeland and Hubble 35-yard line. It's a first and 10 for Hancock. Hancock leads 7-0. Handoff, left side to Chenoweth. Chenoweth fights for a couple of yards, maybe 2 yards. See where they mark it, but a slight gain on the play, and that's it. And it'll be second down and about 9.
To gain a yard, it's going to bring up second down and 9 with 10-12 and running remaining here in this second quarter. The Hancock Bulldogs 7, Lakeland and Hubble Lakes, no score.
Sabith, the general here. Handoff, left side. Ball carrier number 37 for the Bulldogs. That's Robbie Brooks. And he did not get much at all. As a matter of fact, he lost about a half a yard.
Robbie Brooks for a 1-yard loss. Third down and 10 now we have with 9:28 and running remaining here in the second quarter. The Lakeland and Hubble Lakes behind the Hancock Bulldogs 7-0.
Now this is a big play for Sabis again. He's come up with a big play so far. He's firing the ball. And it's caught. Touchdown. What a pass. What a catch. To Chris Polani, number 41. That ball was just out of his reach. He reached with his right hand, and it hit the tip of his hand, and he brought it into his chest. That's one of the best catches you'll see in high school football. It was going to be an incomplete pass. I thought it was overthrown. He ran under it, and he still wasn't quite up to it.
Well, Chris Polani with an extra burst of speed right at the end. I think John Stevens was looking for open territory, hoping just to unload the ball. He picked up a Chris Polani just picking up an extra burst of speed, grabbing it with his fingertips. He tucked it and took it into the end zone.
Is this Pink's game? And after one visit with Dr. Pepper, you'll understand why Dr. Pepper is this name.
Dr. Pepper, just what the doctor ordered.
Lakes, they start from their own 43, first and 10 with their backs to the wall. Cooking in the quarterback, Gillis and Craig Rowe in the backfield. The handoff, though, is to Jamie Carrington, comes over. And he had a big week last Saturday, our second time. Carrington is in the backfield now. There's a handoff right side to number 33, who's the other back, Craig Rowe. Rowe good for a couple of yards. He stopped just shy of midfield at about the 49.
Oh, to Lake Linden at the 49-yard line, and there's a dog on the field.
There goes Cooking, and he's throwing one, and it is knocked down, and a good defensive move by number 44 by the Hancock Bulldogs, Dirk Hamper, to be forced to punt. Gillis, the kicker, standing at his own 39. There's the snap. Two deep men, Sabis and Ritchie. And they threw a pass on a fake punt, but
They're going to stop on a play for the Bulldogs.
wow.
Well, that time Mark Gillis punting, and he hit Eric Cookinen, and he was about a half a yard short of a first down, and that's going to give the Bulldogs the ball.
In the second quarter, on a fake punt, they would have had the Bulldogs deep in their own territory. And the way the Bulldogs are moving the ball, I'd rather have them back inside their own 20 or 30. Handoff, there's a flag on the play. The ball carrier is Jason Ritchie. He picked up about 5 yards, but we'll see what the flag is all about. It's 13-0. Sabis calling the signals. He's got to pull some more magic out of the bag here. Goes back, rolls to his right, looking for a receiver, decides to keep it, finds a little opening, and he runs it up the middle. Now he cuts to the left side. He's got more than a first down, and what a run as he's brought down at about the 46-yard line of the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes.
Well, stopped by his counterpart over on that far sideline. Derek Cookinen wrapping him up, but that was a fine gain of 15 yards
to go. So that brings up a second down and 5, so it's a 15-yard gain. Nice keeper play by Sabis. Sabis rolls back again. Anytime he rolls out, he's dangerous. The pass is incomplete. I don't know who the intended receiver was. Number 14 was out there. Number 41, Burkar.
Davis only his second incomplete pass in 6 attempts this ballgame.
He's calling the signals right now, and before the play gets started, or as the ball is snapped, we get a flag on the play, and these penalties, even though Hancock is the 13-0 lead, David, you did. It's 13-0 Hancock. 2 touchdown passes by John Sabis. Sabis going back in the pocket, comes out of the pocket, has a little running room, and he's not going to make it.
Well, he was tripped up by Mark Gillis just after he crossed the line of scrimmage, but falling forward, they're going to give him a gain of about 5 yards on the play. So
he hurt his arm or his wrist area. It appears to be the right arm area anyway. There's the snap, there's the kick by Solani. What a boomer. It's going to go into the end zone. That's a touchback. And with 5:08 left now here in the first half, the Lakes take over first and 10 on their own 20. Close situation. Meanwhile, the Lakes have a first and 10 from their own 20. And they're behind 13-0. Handoff to Dan Schmidt. Schmidt finds a little bit of running room as he crosses the 20, but he's forced out at about the 21. Done it offensively with a 13-0 lead thus far. Cooking in. Handoff left side. Good for about 4 yards on the play. Craig Rowe. Any game this year. Cooking in. Handoff left side. Good for a little running room. Number 35 for the Lakes. That's Dan Schmidt. And he's got a first down. Go throwing against the wind. Short passes perhaps. Look for any long bombs. Man in motion. Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Legal procedure.
And it's a first down for the Lakeland and Humboldt Lakes. Handoff goes to Dan Schmidt. Schmidt fights his way to about the original line of scrimmage before he's dropped. And so far, Cook it in, hides the ball. Now he throws it, intercepted at the 47-yard line. Who picked that up? Davis. What a catch he made.
John Davis, pass intended for Jim Kiernan over on the flats, deep on the right-hand side of the field, and John Sabis just leaping above Jim Kiernan, picking
at them, but they had to make a couple of fine interceptions to get the ball back, and Sabis did that time. Quick handoff right side, fighting his way for a couple of extra yards after initial gain of about 3 was Jason Ritchie. And that'll bring up about a second down and 6 meters in between. That's the difference. They're calling it a 2nd and 6. Sabis back in the pocket, comes out of the pocket now, still looking. Now he decides to run with it. He's got a first down as he crosses the 35, and he's brought out of bounds, knocked out of bounds at about the 33.
Davis, and they're moving again, Norm.
See, this guy is really dangerous when he goes back into the pocket because he's got the receivers that can catch the ball, and if the receivers aren't...
Stones by the Bulldogs here in this first half. The Bulldogs leading 13-0 with under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half.
You still have time. Sabis goes back, man chasing him from behind. Now he throws the ball, and that one is picked off by Gillis, who's back in the game at his own 22-yard line, and the Lakes stopped the Bulldog drive. All the way, and he picked the pass off. 1st and 10 on this second down play. The Lakes may just decide to hang on to the ball and go into the halftime.
It's all you got. Do any country cool. Do any country cool.
Mountain Dew, distributed by Pepsi-Cola of Houghton.
Now we have a 4th down and 14 for the Lakes, and they're going to have to punt with 40 seconds left in the first half. The Bulldogs will get the ball back. A high kick by Gillis. The ball takes a Lakeland in bounce and stops at about the 40, where are you going to mark it? About the 40-yard line. And the Bulldogs are going to get the ball back with 29 seconds left, Bill. 5 seconds left. Sabis calling the signals. Quick pass out of bounds. Intended receiver, though, looked like it was kind of...
Score, and Hancock has one last chance.
Wide flanker is Burkhardt on the right side. Back in the pocket, Sabis. He's being rushed. Gonna have to get rid of it. Up the middle, there's a long pass. Just off the fingertips. Incomplete. Intended receiver
was number 88, Eric Clark, but Eric Cookin stepping in front of the pass, and I believe inadvertently their legs might have got a little tangled, but it's going to be ruled incomplete and bring up a 3rd down from the 38-yard line.
3rd and goal from the 39 is what it is. That's what it amounts to with time running out here. Sabis has some time. He fires it off the fingertips of Shane Burkhardt.
I think Dan Schmidt may have got a little piece of that ball just at the goal line. It was intended for Shane. They get the opening kickoff in the second half, so they're hoping to change their fortunes.
They trail 13-zip. Sabis goes back in the pocket, looking, fires it downfield. That one is incomplete. And that's the end of the first half of play here from Condon Field in Hancock. And we have a surprise score for you here at halftime. Maybe not a surprise in as much as the Lakes have been shut out in the first half of play. The score is Hancock at turned over the football and led to the Hancock Bulldogs' first touchdown. Schmidt picks it up on one hop at his own 10, across the 15, the 20, the 25, still on his feet to the 30, across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
Key block on the play, Mark Gillis.
To us here today on this October 14th afternoon. Temperatures in the early 60s. Handoff. Gillis finds some running room. Picked up more there than he did in the first half. I think he's close to first down territory.
Well, I think Gillis might have sat down at halftime and thought, this is my football game here, and I didn't contribute much in the first half. Gillis picking up 10 yards on the carry, bringing the ball up to the 42-yard line of the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes, and the Lakes are moving.
First and 10 for the Lakes. Cooking in, calling the signals. He keeps. Finds a little running room. Tripped up from behind as he reached the 35-yard line of the Bulldogs. Lakes don't have any score in the third quarter. Handoff. Gillis powers his way for about 5 yards. That'll bring up a third down, still shy of a first down.
Just short of the 50-yard line of the Hancock Bulldogs.
Kukkonen flips it to Gillis. Gillis close to the first down as he crosses the 50 and is knocked out of bounds right on the 50-yard marker. And he's going to be shy of the first down. They'll bring up a fourth down, and I suspect they'll keep the ball and try to go for the first down. Fourth down. And it's a keeper by Kukkonen, and he's close to the first down. There's a fumble on the play. Wait a minute, what happened here? Let's see who they give the ball to. Hancock's indicating they have the football, and they do. Another big turnover by the Lakes, and the Bulldogs on the fourth down play. The Lakes, I do believe, were so close that they would have had the first down.
Time remaining here in the third quarter.
So another turnover, and the Lakes are thwarted again, and there's all kinds of movement, and it may be on the Hancock Bulldogs. Here we go again. They're ahead 13-0, but they've been penalized throughout that first half that forced them to...
penalties hurting the Bulldogs.
On the Lake side, they haven't had the ball that much either, you know, offensive. And they trail 13-0 to Hancock. Pitch out, left side. Ball carrier is Ritchie. Ritchie gets back across the line of scrimmage, and then he's brought down. A couple-yard gain.
Jason Ritchie being stopped by Jim Kiernan, and I think Ritchie slipped, and Kiernan hammered him, but Ritchie coming back. 9 and running remaining here in the third quarter. The Hancock Bulldogs 13, and the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes still no score.
Sabas calling the signal. Second down. Goes to his right. He's got a man behind him trailing the play. Decides to keep it. And he went absolutely nowhere, and he's forced out of bounds.
John Sabas trying to cut around right end. He was hammered by Dan Schmidt. A little bit of help from Mark Gillis. And that's, we'll give him a gain of about 2, and that's going to bring up a third down and 12 now, Norm.
That doesn't exist, but he wanted to go off in his own power. The referee, one of the officials, was trying to assist him. He said, I'm all right. He started running sideways. He'll be back. Tough kid. Third down and 11. Sabas being chased out of the pocket. Still looking to throw it. He does, and it's incomplete.
It hit the Eric Clark right in the numbers. Well, Clark not ready for the ball, and the pass is going to go incomplete. Going to bring out fourth down and 12 from the 46-yard line of the Hancock Bulldogs. And
2 on the season, playing a pretty tough schedule. And considering the injuries, they fared pretty well. They lost last week to a tough Ontonagon team in Ontonagon. There's a good spiral kick by Solani, grabbed by Gillis. Fake reverse. Gillis keeps it, sweeps across the field, right side, finds a little bit of running room, and then is shirt tackled from behind, and a nice defensive play by Jason Ritchie, it looked like.
Jason Ritchie, good pursuit on the play. Gillis didn't fake him out with that intended reverse to Dan Schmidt. Ritchie pursuing all the way and taking Gillis down. And they're going to mark the ball at the 35-yard line. The Lakes only had 13 offensive plays in the first half to 24 for the Bulldogs.
That's unreal. Man in motion is Gillis. Pitch out back, and in trouble, being brought down is number 25, Jim Kiernan. Wow.
Well, I think it was a bad pitch out. It was a little behind Jim Karen, and he made it look pretty good. He spun around. He held the ball with one arm. He tucked it in, tried to bring it forward, but it's going to be a loss of about 3 yards on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 13 for the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes.
And all season long. 13-0. Hancock out in front. Cooking in. Handoff. And now he keeps it. And it's intercepted by the Bulldogs. Another grab. Oh, wait a minute. Now, how are they going to rule it? Oh, the Bulldog who intercepted that pass is rolling on the ground.
Oh, my God.
He's hurt.
Davis is down, and he's hurt. Davis' 3rd interception of the game. It is the Bulldogs' ball. They're going to mark it on about the 42-yard line. Lakeland and Hubble Lakes 42-yard line, but Davis is down, and he's hurting.
Mars Building Supply is Lakeland and help you get ready for winter at the last minute with super savings on earth stoves. Buy the earth stove model 1002C, priced at just $980, or the 1400 HT, now only $675. And Mars Building Supply has the earth stove model 1500 HT, priced at just $850. Delivery available to the entire Keweenaw. Earth stoves available now at Mars Building Supply in Lake Linden.
Okay, we'll go right back out to the field, but first I've got one update for you out there, Norm. It's Ontonagon leading Houghton in the 4th quarter now, 22-0.
Okay, 22-0 in the 4th quarter. Ontonagon over Houghton, 22-0 in the 4th quarter. And number 10 is back in there, Sabis, at quarterback after being shaken up on that interception, his 3rd of the day. Going to name him offensive and defensive player of the game. He's keeping the ball. He's running across the 40, charges to about the 36-yard line of the Lakes. And there's going to be a face mask call, I do believe, here also. That's going to give a 1st down to the Bulldogs, who would have been about 5 yards shy for the Bulldogs. Sabis calling the signals. Handoff, left side, going nowhere. Caught in the backfield was Jason Ritchie. Good defensive play there by the Lakeland and Hubble defense. Leading the charge there, making the stop, number 75, Jeff Klein. So a loss on the play of about 5. That's a 2nd down and 15 at the Lakes 25. Well, it's Sabis, an outstanding job at quarterback, calls the signal. There's movement in the line. It's offside on Lakeland, and that'll pick up 5 more yards. There's the snap from center. Handoff. Ritchie, running room, good block. And a good run, and the ball is down to the 15-yard line. It's going to be shy of the 1st down. But boy, did that hole open up. They're opening up that hole on the right side.
Again, Hubble Lakes, no score.
Good blocks down there on the right side of that line. And the Bulldogs movement, and it's illegal procedure again by the Lakes. And that may give them the 1st down, please, that they've been able to overcome. And Chenoweth in there now. 1st and 10. Sabis calls the signals, rolls to his left. He's got a man to pitch to if he decides, but he keeps it. And he gets a couple off the run along left end there, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Snap from center. Handoff. Left side. Running room. Ritchie. He's close. He's in. Touchdown. The rest of the UP, the Class D community hears this. The rest of the state hears this. It is going to be a surprise. And the real surprise is that the Lakes can't get their usual potent offense going this afternoon because the Hancock Bulldogs defense has really done the job. The point after the kick is up, and there's a flag on the play. The kick was no good, and it's going to be against the Lakes, so they're going to get an opportunity here, probably maybe to go for 2 now. Oh, that's big. Well, I guess what do they do that on the ensuing kickoff?
I think they're going to put it on the ensuing kickoff.
The personal foul. Okay, dead ball is called, so the penalty will come against the Lakes on the kickoff. At any rate, with 2:31 remaining here in the third quarter, the Hancock Bulldogs have a 19-0 lead over the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes. Deep man is Gillis along with Schmidt. The kick is going to go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and that'll bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. And the 1st and 10 for the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes. 80 yards to pay dirt, and they're looking for their first points of the afternoon. The score is 19-0, Hancock out in front. Well, tonight at the S645 face-off 7:05 on our sister station, the Great 98 WHUH. Man in motion, 1st and 10, handoff right side. Gillis, the running room, 30, 35, 40, still on his feet, 45, 50-yard line where he's forced out of bounds. Good run.
Mark Gillis showing his usual great speed. He cut outside, got around the right end, and running up the sideline.
Good for the Lakes. 2:24 left in the third quarter. Certainly a lot of time left when they get back in the game, but they have to score almost every time they get the ball. Moving right up the middle, some good running room, some good running by Mark Kurtu. We saw this guy last week. I'll tell you, he's only 135 pounds, 5'5", Bill, but he just ran North Dickinson. He's the guy I was telling you about, that he would be hit at the line of scrimmage, carrying 2 defenders on his back for a couple of more yards. And starting the move, the ball, the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes, where they have the ball on the Bulldogs, 48. Cookenden had trouble with the snap. He keeps the ball, got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, excellent job by Eric Cookenden. I thought he was dropped for a big loss, but fought his way back to apparently the line of scrimmage. Well, maybe they're going to call it a loss of a yard, but it'll bring up...
We have an official timeout here on the play. Cookenden shaken up. Why, the helmet was where? They locked helmets like two fighting bucks would lock horns, huh? Starting a drive, the first drive they've been able to do anything all afternoon. They picked up 2 first downs thus far. Here comes Gillis, right side tackle, good for about 5.
Gillis racked up quickly after he got across the line of scrimmage by John Sabis. They're going to give him a gain of about 4 yards on the play, so that's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 6 yards.
Ground and the air all afternoon. Back to passes. Cookenden, he's being rushed. He's hit, but he got the pass away. It falls incomplete. Good pass rush by the Bulldogs. In there, number 33, Jesse Chenault with one of them. And I think Dean Hutta was coming in from the other side. No, watch me be wrong again. Gillis is back in punt formation. Maybe they're hoping for the fumble. No, he keeps the ball. And he finds a little running room. He's going to have it up for a first down. He leaps for about 3 yards. He may have gotten it and see where they mark it.
What an athlete. Mark Gillis jumped in the air.
First down.
Gillis picking up a first down for the Lakes.
He looked like Dr. J. Remember Dr. J? From the free throw line to the basket, he'd go like a jet in the air.
Gillis making the last, which is exactly what they needed. They needed to pick up 6 yards, and Gillis made it through the air without throwing the ball.
There was no way they were going to punt. Then they begin to have doubles. So it's another first down, the 3rd on this drive. 33 seconds left in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Lakes. Cookenden had trouble with the handoff. He sweeps. He's in trouble. He's hit from behind at the 46-yard line.
John Sabis going right through the middle and Hodges through there. Cookenden trying to roll out, and Sabis ripping him down for a loss of about 5 on the play.
Between him and the center. That's the end of the third quarter of play. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a moment to score. Hancock 19, the Lakes nothing.
29-0. And an updated score, it's Winona State 18, Michigan Tech 10, and that's in the fourth quarter.
There's Cookenden pass. Incomplete.
And an incomplete pass by Eric Cookenden. It'll bring up 3rd down now as we start the fourth quarter. 3rd and 15. Thank you. Back to pass, Cookenden from the shotgun. Pumps once, twice. Long pass, incomplete. Just off the fingertips of number 35 of the Lakes. That's Dan Schmidt. Gio of Hancock. And the pass from center goes over Gillis's head. He was in butt formation. Loose ball, and I think the Bulldogs got it. Gillis had trouble picking it up, and it was recovered by Jesse Chenoweth. And the Bulldogs defense again on that bad pass from center take advantage of the situation, and the Bulldogs are in charge, hurting paws or not.
Well, Jesse Chenoweth already on top of the football, and Mark Gillis having no chance because Jim Gillette got right in there and took Mark Gillis right away from the play. But the Bulldogs do have the ball deep in Lakeland and Hubble territory.
Basically, the Lakes have to win either today or next week against Crystal Falls, and then they got a game against you and Trout Creek, I believe it is, to get in the playoffs. Here's a nice run by number 11 of the Bulldogs, Jason Ritchie, and he picked up good over 10 yards on that play. Good in territory. Sabes handoff right side. Ritchie good for about 2. That'll bring up a third down and about 13. 10:30 left on the clock, and the clock is running.
19 in the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes, no score.
I look for Sabes to roll now and have that option available to him to throw the ball. Now they don't get the play off as there's a flag.
I think that might be a legal procedure. Shane Burkar jumped a little bit before the snap count, and it drew the Lakes offside, so it's going to be a legal procedure and going to make it a third down and 17 now.
Well, they may even try a field goal, even though they'd be kicking against the wind. Defense jumping around. Sabes on a keeper, tries a left end, and good for a few yards, and that's it. He's brought down at about the 35-yard line. Pass in the first half will do the punting. He's standing on the 50-yard line. He might just go for the touchback. Yeah, he's going right up the middle with it. The ball lands inside the 10, and it stays right there where it's down by the Bulldogs. So it's a long way to pay dirt again for the Lakes. Poor field position. Punting against the wind and getting the ball high enough was probably a good idea there. 19-0 is the score with 8:54 remaining here in the football game. The Bulldogs are out in front of the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes. So they'll try to all over again. This time Solani will be standing on his 40-yard line. Gets the punt away. And they're going to let it bounce, and this one is going to roll. It's going to be down inside the 5 by the Bulldogs. What a punt. The two backs, deep men, Smith and Gillis, let it fall between them. No one wanted to take the football, Bill. And
I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all.
I think maybe they figured it was going to go into the end zone and he'd take the ball out in the 20. But you got turned out to be a gain as the ball was on the 1-yard line before it was inside the 15 at about the 12 before the penalty. We have a flag on the play.
Illegal procedure, Lake Linden, and that's going to move the ball back just a half a yard because it's half the distance of the goal line. But
there's a handoff right side. Getting out of a little bit of trouble, the Lakes, as they move the ball to about the 5. Gillis, maybe across the 5-yard line.
Lake Linden.
Cookerton goes back in his end zone. He's knocked down, throws the ball. Intended receiver, it fell incomplete, was number 35, Dan Schmidt. So that brings up a third down now.
Been going with a 35-yard touchdown pass reception.
Here's a pass by Cookerton, left side. Smith's got it at the 15, the 20, to 25. He cuts up the middle now. Now he's heading toward midfield, and he's finally brought down. Well, no forward progress after he caught it, but enough forward progress when he caught it.
Well, Dan Schmidt moving the ball out for a fine 24-yard gain. They're going to mark it at the 29-yard line. Let's call it the 28. 23-yard gain for Dan Schmidt on the pass play from Eric Cookerton. But the clock's still running, and there's just 7 minutes left in this football game.
Back to pass is Cookerton. Pumps once, he's in trouble, and he's sacked. Running the pattern was number 25 for the Lakes, Jim Kiernan, but the quarterback Kukkonen was sacked before he could get rid of the football.
Jesse Chenault back in a heartbeat, and he got a hold of Eric Kukkonen before he could release the ball, and that's going to cause a loss of 4 yards on the play and bring up a second down and 14 for the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes.
The Lakes are going to have to go to the air. He pumps once, pumps again, incomplete, almost intercepted. That pass was thrown right to number 11, Jason Ritchie. Hit him on the pads, and he dropped the ball. Hit that guy with a pass while he's in motion. There, Gillis does get the ball, a little push-forward pass, kind of a shuffle, and he doesn't go anywhere. He got a little yardage, but not near enough.
Well, he was corralled that time by Greg Gibbons, and Gillis picking up ahead of steam, but Gibbons coming in out of the defensive backfield and
Kukkonen, pass incomplete. The Bulldogs take over in good field position at the 35-yard line. I do believe it's marking it about the 35-yard line of the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes. That's going to about do it for the Lakes this afternoon. They would, but whatever, it would be too little, too late, certainly. I don't know what this is going to do to the point system for the Lakes. Ritchie, the ball carrier, he gets back to about the line of scrimmage. The Lakes is coming in their region, in Class D, Region 4, in second place, a strong second place. They'll possibly, depending on how the other clubs did, I will certainly see them dropping third at least, maybe to fourth.
Well, there was a lot of possible points in this football game to pick up. Beating a Class C opponent means an extra 16 points, plus 8 points for each Bulldog win. But as we can see now, the Bulldogs are going to come out victorious this afternoon, pending a miracle.
Sabis, the ball, hands it off, and Ritchie, the ball carrier again. There's flags on the field. That stops the clock with 4:32 left here in the football game. It's against the Bulldogs.
That's going to move it back 10 yards, give the Lakes a little bit of breathing room. Going to move it from the 36 back to the 46-yard line. We have 4:30.
I don't think Coach Solani would call this an upset, but he would call the final score certainly upsetting for the Lakes. Ritchie finds a hole, worms his way across the 40. Well, he didn't quite make the 40, down at about the 39-yard of the Lakes.
Jason Ritchie working hard to pick up about 5 yards on the play, but still, that's going to bring the Bulldogs up very short, bring them a third down, and now about 16 to go.
Third down play for the Bulldogs and 16 for a first down. And nowhere, caught in the backfield for a loss.
Jesse Chenault.
So we'll have to give up the football here. And the Lakes will have another shot at it with 3:10 left to play. To punt is Chris Solani. He's standing at his own 37. Snap from center. Doesn't get it away. Whistle and flags on the play. A legal procedure against the Bulldogs. Clock is running with 2:30 left in the football game. Solani this time standing in his own 32. The pat snap from center. It goes over his head. He goes after it, picks it up, and hangs on to it at his own 17-yard line, I believe it is there. Well, Chris now to get on the board with 2 minutes left. Pitch out to Gillis. Gillis changes directions, goes. Now he's forced. He never was tackled, but it's a big loss on the play. Making the defensive move, stopping him was Jesse Chenault.
19 yards of pay dirt for the Lakeland and Hubble Lakes. Under a minute and a half remaining here in this football game. 19-0 in Hancock.
And there's the option pass. Gillis is going to fire it into the end zone. That falls incomplete. He was rushed after he took the handoff from Kukkonen. Schmidt was the intended receiver on the halfback, on the back option there. Well, this has just not been the Lakes' day. Ball on the 19-yard line of the Bulldogs. And listen, the Bulldogs are fired up for their shutout. They already know they have it in the W column. They want to shut down these Lakes completely. Cookinen goes back to pass, and he was rushed, and the ball fell short. And we have to say this with that rushing Hancock defense, because Cookinen has not had any time to throw the ball all day. Cookinen, back to pass. Up the middle, incomplete. Again, he was rushed. This time rushing in, forcing that pass to fall short was number 69 of the Bulldogs, Grunowski, Mike. And now the Bulldogs will take over on downs with 1:09 left, and they'll be content, most certainly, to take that long count and run out the clock. The Lakes?
Right, we'll drop the Lakes out of the playoff picture.
This loss? No way. No way.
Well, barring what happens to the teams that are up with them.
Now, they're in a strong second position there, Bill. You have to remember, all they have to do really is win one of these two games. The game here this afternoon, which they are going to lose, or next week against Crystal Falls. Crystal Falls loss now, and on the other hand, would drop them out of the playoff picture. But not this loss this afternoon. It just does not give them a very good commanding position to make the playoffs. If they had won today and lost next week, no problem at all. They're going to drop down, but I don't think they'll drop out. Well, the Hancock fans very jubilant right now. And the clock is running with 20 seconds left. And the surprise here this afternoon is not only the win, but a shutout victory for the Hancock defense.